Talo Falava, this is Pacific Waves from RNZ Pacific. I'm Susana Suisuiki. Coming up.
Mamihi, whakawhetai, ki te āriki nui, kuini ngā wai hono I te pō ta tau te whero tua waru.
It's day 3 of Koronehana. Also, Samoa is on track to have a brand new leader. And
meeting celebrates 54 years journey of the Pacific Islands Forum. It is a call to action and a reaffirmation of who we are.
Pacific leaders slowly make their way to Honiara. In Aotearoa, it's the annual Koronehana celebrations, and Pacific leaders are at Tūranga Waiwai Marae in Waikato to honour Māori monarch Te Ariki Nui, Kuini ngā wai hono I te pō. The celebrations mark 1 year since her coronation. I spoke with our reporter Coco Lance, who was on the ground at Ngarua Wahia. Kia ora, Coco. Tell me about today.
Kia ora. Yes, it's been a very powerful third day here at Tūranga Waiwai Marae. There were hundreds of Pacific community leaders and community members gathering to pay tribute to Te Ariki Nui, Kuini ngā wai hono I te pō. The atmosphere was alive all day, lots of kapahaka, lots of, colourful cultural displays and performances from Pacific groups following this morning's pōwhiri. And there were some real standouts from various groups, including Cook Islands and Tongan groups specifically. In terms of that, I guess, the pōwhiri for Pacific dignitaries and the mutual respect and reception for the Queen was very evident and was quite a standout between the Kiingitanga and Pacific nations.
Yeah, what did Pacific leaders who were in attendance, what did they say?
Yeah, so there was a strong presence of Pacific leaders, of course. So lots of representatives from across Tonga, Cook Islands, Samoa, Hawaii, Fiji, and there was a very kind of reoccurring theme in what was being said, in that, the anointment of the Queen 1 year on and celebrating her with Koronehana this year kind of has just given us this shared sense of optimism and positivity, and I guess this idea of turning a new chapter and looking forward to a very positive and, I guess, rangatahi-led future as well. And that's what a lot of the Pacific delegates had to say. I spoke to Cook Islands High Commissioner Kairangi Samwala earlier today, and she again talked about Pacific identity and this mutual respect, and she made great mention of the Queen's leadership being inspiring, particularly for Māori and Pacific women too.
Thank you, Coco. So what else can we expect from the rest of the week? How long do celebrations in Ngarua Wahia continue?
Well, Saturday will be the final day of Koronehana, and that will kind of be rounded off with a festival day and lots of celebrations. Tomorrow, though, Friday, is going to be a particularly big and significant day for Koronehana because it will be the Queen's first address. So that's going to be a big moment. She's going to be speaking to the masses. So everybody will have, their ears ready to go and really keen to hear what she has to say following this week of celebrating and admiring and, having so many people together to represent and reflect her.
Samoa's election results are in, with the FAST party winning in a landslide. The Human Rights Protection Party, Samoa United Party, and independent candidates have also won seats. The count has taken 4 days. The Electoral Commissioner will release the official results on Friday night. And joining me is our reporter, Grace Viva'ai.
Talofa lava, Grace. So what's the latest? What happened today?
Hi, Talofa Susana. Well, I think you can hear from my voice I seem quite happy. It's because the official counting of the votes from Samoa's polling day has officially finished, but it hasn't finished in the sense where the Electoral Commissioner will upload and make an official statement tomorrow, and then from there on, he will then visit the head of state and given the official confirmation, and then the head of state is expected to put up a formal writ, which is expected on Monday. Tomorrow we actually have got a media press conference, so those are questions that all of us, media who are here on the ground at the moment want to ask, just for confirmation as to what the next steps are. But as of today, the last constituency to finish up from all the 50 constituencies was Anua Ma'a number 2. And so, all 50 constituencies have been finished, a total of 30 for FAST, and then HRPP follow through with 14, and then we see SUP with 3, and then 4 independent candidates. Now, I just want to make it clear that online there'll be a lot of misinformation and with other stats where some are saying FAST have 31. But in actual fact I want to make it clear that FAST have 30 at the moment. On social media, on the FAST party, there was a live of one independent member who has joined the FAST party, but as per the Electoral Commissioner, it hasn't been confirmed yet until he puts up the confirmation. So there's just a bit of misinformation there, although people know that he's joined FAST until the Electoral Commissioner has confirmed, and when they swear in that he is with FAST, then those numbers would change. So everyone's kind of happy, but the real work starts now when the writ comes through from the head of state. There'll be, of course, a lot of court petitions from each party who are wanting, for example, word is on the ground here from local media that HRPP are already setting up to file for their court petitions. I haven't heard anything from FAST yet, as well as SUP. So that's what's happening on the ground here in Samoa Sana.
Pacific Islands Forum leaders are en route to Solomon Islands for the annual meeting, which kicks off on Monday. The lead-up has been so far marred with geopolitical tussles and threats that Solomon Islands may be an unfit host. The decision has since been made that the likes of China, Taiwan and the US will not be able to hold their annual meetings in Honiara, instead a promise that all are welcome to next year's summit in Palau. Caleb Fotheringham is travelling to Honiara.
Touted as the region's most important political gathering, summit host Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele says Pacific unity is critical, and the theme of this year's meeting serves as a message to the world that the Pacific stands united.
The theme, "Imi Together, Act Now for an Integrated Blue Pacific Continent." The theme of the 54th Pacific Islands Forum Leaders meeting celebrates 54 years journey of the Pacific Islands Forum. It is a call to action and a reaffirmation of who we are, one blue Pacific continent.
The Prime Minister is blocking almost 24 dialogue and investment partners from the meeting, claiming it's to give leaders space to focus on a review of how the forum engages with diplomatic partners. Massey University's Anna Poles thinks it's likely those with diplomatic missions in Honiara, like China and the US, will still have meetings on the sidelines of the event, but the same won't be true for other partners.
It's very unlikely that dialogue partners such as Norway, for instance, or Singapore, who do not have diplomatic representation in Honiara, are likely to be there on the ground, as they have not been invited.
France is one of them, which has been a dialogue partner since 1989. The country has cancelled flights and accommodation out of respect for Mr. Manele's wishes, but France's ambassador to the Pacific, Véronique Roger-Lacan, doesn't want to find out later there were meetings on the sly.
If we find out that this is the case, that something is happening, then of course we will manifest our strong disagreement to the PIF, and we will tell the PIF, you asked us to do something, we respected what you asked us to do, this is not what was done. So now you owe us something. You owe us at least some excuses.
In May, the then Samoa Prime Minister told us the contest to get a seat, even on the outskirts of the regional table, has been hot.
Everyone's coming in. Every man and his dog coming into the Pacific. Pacific's becoming very contested. It's becoming very congested.
And chatter around wavering regional unity has been simmering.
There's always that conflict between, the collective and the national interests and so forth.
Each year, leaders from every Pacific country, including New Zealand and Australia, talk about the big issues facing the region. Arguably, the largest initiative this year is the expected signing of the Regional Architecture Review. It's the leaders' response to increasing interest from a growing number of Forum dialogue partners wanting a seat and influence at the regional decision-making table. A former PIF governance director, Sione Tikitiki, says external powers have been pitting Pacific Islands Forum members against each other.
But this issue around Taiwan and China is not a new issue. It's something that is always in the background of any forum leaders meeting. In Fiji, leaders at the time wanted to meet just amongst themselves to discuss issues to do with their own solidarity.
The Solomon Islands Prime Minister has dismissed claims that blocking the countries has come from pressure from China not wanting Taiwan at the event. Mr. Manale says it's a sovereign decision in the region's best interest, not one coming from outsiders.
They acknowledge public concerns and media narratives regarding forum matters. But let me be very clear. Solomon Islands is a sovereign nation. Our government acts in the best interest of our people and the region. Decisions related to the Pacific Islands Forum are made collectively by forum members through established processes grounded in the Pacific way, emphasizing respect, dialogue and consensus.
New Zealand Foreign Minister Winston Peters is not too sure about that.
Outsiders are now telling us who we can have as guests. That's not the Pacific way. And if you dissect every Pacific Islands population, they will not like that.
Mr. Peters indicating the decision to block partners was solely made by Solomon Islands.
Have the Solomon Islands made a unilateral decision not to invite partners?
That's a conclusion you could arrive at, yes.
Incoming Forum Chair and Palau President Siringa Whips Jr., like several others, is not happy about partners being uninvited, but he's accepted it.
I think it's so important at any Pacific Forum meeting that we have all our partners there. And it is a missed opportunity not to have our partners attending the forum meetings in the Solomon Islands. I think it's a missed opportunity for the Solomon Islands. But they are the host.
Palau is one of the remaining Pacific countries with ties to Taiwan, alongside Marshall Islands and Tuvalu. Mr. Whip says things will be a little different at the Leaders' Summit next year.
This is not about Palau's relationship with China or Solomon Islands' relationship with Taiwan. It's about the PIF. And the PIF recognizes both. And within the PIF, we, of course, have our differences, but we come together as one Pacific.
He says Palau is hosting and everyone is welcome, even China.
Staying with the Pacific Islands Forum Leaders Summit, I spoke to New Zealand Foreign Affairs Minister Vauwasa Manaia Winston Peters about the significance of next week. Now, we know the Dialogue Partners meeting isn't on the agenda, but there's also a lot of chatter that both the US and China will still be present in an unofficial capacity. China, of course, has an embassy there, as does the US. Is New Zealand planning to hold bilateral meetings with non-forum members?
Look, I can't explain that to you at the present time because of the host government's position, but we'll see what develops.
Well, do you know if Christopher Luxon will speak to any non-foreign member officials or representatives if they're in Honiara?
Well, we talk to everybody, so very likely, but I can't speak for him at this point in time because I haven't got his calendar or his diary on that specific question.
All right, so at the Foreign Ministers meeting in Suva last month, you didn't seem impressed with the Solomons' decision to defer the partners meeting to another year. Do you think forum unity is at risk?
Well, the difficulty is we're offshore trying to raise funds for Pacific peoples in the blue continent, so to speak, and this requires a major effort on our part to get countries engaged in helping us in our aid programs and our development programs, and particularly with the centrality of the Pacific Islands Forum foremost. And so if you're trying to get an aid partner or a dialogue partner involved, and they're told they're not welcome to come, it makes things much more difficult for you.
So who is to blame?
Well, the blame lies fairly with the decision by the Solomon Islands government, who knew that over the years and decades, we've invited dialogue partners to come along because it expands our capacity. And this critical time, for the first time, the answer is they've said they don't want to invite anyone. Now, had we known that, the question is whether we'd be having it in Honiara next week, or in some other country where we can get dialogue partners to be interested. We need their help.
Okay. So, Vavasa Manaya, what role does New Zealand and you as Foreign Minister have in uniting the forum and the region?
Well, we've worked hard to go to every forum country and to talk to them about their needs and how we can be of assistance to be a good partner and a reliable partner in the Pacific. And when we talk about Pacific regionalism and the forum centrality, that's what it's about. It's about lifting the forum performance so all of its peoples everywhere are the beneficiary.
Vavasa Manaya, back in the foreign ministers meeting in Suva, you brought up outsiders. I was just wondering, who did you mean by the outsiders?
Well, anyone that from the outside is trying to influence the business and work of the forum, and my point to them was, here we are, having all these years constructed this Pacific Islands Forum and doing the most we can to make it work, and then some are being influenced by outsiders saying, we don't want somebody else to come. We don't want this to happen. The answer is, excuse me, this organisation will decide who its guests will be all by ourselves, all together, all 18 countries. That's what we should be doing.
Could you give us specific names or countries?
No, I don't want to point to specific countries because it gets into a slanging match of no value to the Pacific Forum outcomes.
All right. So another big issue in the Pacific is the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Israel is planning a visit. Do you think the forum should recognise a Palestinian state?
The question for the Pacific Islands Forum will be, and many of the Pacific Forum countries have already stated their view, it's not about what and when we'll recognise it, because that's not the question of if and it's really when. And the when depends on this. What would you be recognising? And that has been the criteria that we have followed through different political parties for a long time. And now, here we are, when you've got certain countries saying we should recognise Palestine now, and our question is, but what will happen tomorrow when you don't know who you're recognising and what's to be recognised? It's not against the Palestinian state, but the Palestinian state needs to be free of Hamas for a start, as has been pointed out by Egypt and other countries.
Okay, and just to wrap up our tala noa Vavasa Manaya, where in the Pacific will you be popping up to next? Where can the people see your handsome face next?
You need to go to Specsavers for a start. But can I just say I'm off to the PNG. That's 50 years of independence celebrations, probably on the evening of the 15th of September.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Vavasa Manaya. So fast we
Thank you very much.
I also spoke with Solomon Islands Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele and began by asking him what he thought of criticism of his country's stance of closing the doors on partners in Honiara.
Not actually. Our decision to defer the post-forum dialogue partners meeting is based on a decision made by leaders in Tonga last year that says that the new enhanced mechanism for post-forum dialogue should be ready before the Honiara Leaders Forum meeting. Unfortunately, that new mechanism is not ready. So on that basis, my government, in consultation with the Forum Secretariat, has decided to defer the post-forum dialogue segment of this year's Forum Leaders meeting.
Okay, so you're telling me that you went through the proper process, but there's still this idea of the forum unity at risk. I just spoke to New Zealand's Foreign Minister earlier. He said the blame lies fairly with the decision by the Solomon Islands government. He's saying it's your fault, basically, Prime Minister. Is he lying then?
We've made the decision, as I've said, based on the outcomes of the decision in Tonga last year. Of course, we were expecting that the new mechanism for dialogue with partners will be used here in Honiara. Unfortunately, we were informed quite late that it is not ready. So we've made the decision to defer the dialogue partners meeting until the new arrangement is ready. Of course, forum unity, solidarity, and oneness is critical, and I'm happy to note that all forum leaders will be attending the Honiara forum leaders meeting at the leaders level. Samoa, we understand, because of the elections that they had last year, they will be represented at the very senior officials level.
Just last month we had the foreign ministers meeting in Suva. Were there any objections from foreign members to your decision to defer partner talks to next year?
I'm aware that there were a few countries that had reservations with regards to our decision, but when we explained to them, then they understood where we are coming from and accepted the decision that we've made.
We've heard that there'll be meetings on the sidelines with non-foreign members who are coming regardless, but Taiwan can't be in Honiara. Media reported Taiwan officials' visas were rejected. How is that fair that they can't be there, but countries like the US and China will be because they have embassies and officials there?
That's not correct. The decision that we made applies to all post-forum dialogue partners, including China and the US.
But if they were to hold bilateral meetings, would you be able to stop that?
As I've said, the Forum Secretariat has written to all post-forum dialogue partners to explain the decision that we have taken. And all our partners, I'm sure, are already aware of that decision.
Yeah. RNZ Pacific spoke to France's ambassador to the Pacific this morning. She says her delegation are respecting your decision and won't be in Honiara. However, she did say that if she finds out that there are any meetings on the sidelines or in hotel rooms, she wants an apology. Will you apologise, Prime Minister, to France's ambassador if it comes down to that?
We are not expecting, as I've said, any meetings, bilateral meetings, by our post-forum dialogue partners or any party that will be happening after the information and the decision has been relayed to them already. So we hope that they do respect the decision that we have made.
Okay, Prime Minister, just to wrap up, I'm broadcasting from Aotearoa to the region, and New Zealand has shown an interest in hosting PIF in 2027. Is that something you support?
Thank you. Yes, this New Zealand's bid was indeed raised to me by the Prime Minister of New Zealand when I last visited there last month. I take note of the request that New Zealand, as a member of the forum, has indicated its interest to host the forum meeting in 2027, I think, because next year it will be in Palau.
That's Pacific Waves for today. For all episodes, head over to rnz.co.nz/Pacific. We're also on Spotify, Apple and iHeartRadio. From myself and the RNZ Pacific team, tō whā soifua.